What's up, everybody, man? It's your host in the building, your boy Dub Q. I would like to welcome you to Between the Lines podcast. You already know what time it is, the place where hypotheticals just lay. Let's get on into it if we're going to get into it. Hey, Q! But make sure, if you haven't already, you like, comment, subscribe to the channel, show that love. Look, we in here, we ain't going nowhere. Look, let's make no mistake about it. I have been laying it out who I believe that the Carolina Panthers should take in the next draft when it comes to quarterback. Let's make no mistake about it. That's the number one need for the Panthers. I laid out in the last video that you saw why the Carolina Panthers should draft Hendon Hooker. I believe, like I told you, the guy is special. He has arm talent. He is the guy I believe that can take us to the next level. And make no mistake about it. What would we do if we were to potentially take him? How would our draft go? And what's the best scenario for us to possibly move with Hendon Hooker? I'm going to let you guys know with the first round pick selection status. I believe that the Carolina Panthers should go in. If you're going to take a guy like Hendon Hooker, he is not a guy that you take at number 9. First of all, let me go ahead and put that out there. He is a guy that you can get late second round, early third round. So with that being said, you can kind of see the tides of your team and weigh out how and which direction you would like to go. So let's get into it, man. With that first pick in the ninth, the number 9 selection, if I were the Carolina Panthers, I would go tight end and get Michael Mayer. One, you have just solidified he's a top 5 prospect in this draft, and he would deem the number 9 pick, and he would be worthy of it. The production is there. This guy is George Kittle 2.0. He would be a superstar. I would pick him. That's already a security blanket for your new quarterback. Before he's had a chance to really even got in here, you have already gotten him a huge weapon. With the top of the second pick that we got, the second round pick, I would go wide receiver, Jalen Hyatt. And I would solidify, look, since he did this best when they drafted Joe Burrow, they went around and they got Jamar Chase immediately for them. What better way to make your quarterback comfortable than to give him his receiver from college? Jalen Hyatt is a receiver worthy of that second round pick that we would get for him high at, I believe it's number 39. You go in, you get a guy that has, a rapport. And like I said, you draft that guy and you move forward, let them grow together. Now, with that being said, your next second round pick, you go linebacker, Jack Campbell. What you just did is got the quarterback on your defense, and you got a guy that can solidify your franchise on the defensive end. And I'm telling you right now, it would be a major boost to what we are doing here in Carolina, and Frank Wright has just started in the right direction because, one, you got 2 weapons for your offense to go with this upgraded offensive line as well as the weapons that's already here. You also is going to be able to bring in, like I said, the quarterback to your defense. This new 3-4 defense that's under Evero that's going to be running. You need a guy like that can really kickstart this thing in the middle. Now it's time. You got your first, third round pick. I say the quarterback is the position that you should go for. You can't miss on this. You select Hendon Hooker with that first, third round pick, and you make sure you take him off the board. Look, this guy, like I told you, has superstar ability, and the only reason why he's fall to this part is because of the injury that he had. But like I said, make no mistake about it. I said this in the last video. This guy would be ready by training camp. This guy would be ready to go, and I don't see no reason or scenario why you don't take this guy because he's a Heisman winner. This guy has won, like I told you before. You've seen what he did in the last couple of you see what he did this past year before he got hurt. 3,135 yards, 27 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, an 89.5 quarterback rating. This guy was almost the best quarterback in all of football. And like I said, when the lights were on, he was there. The Georgia game, he did not have the best game of his career where he threw an interception, but he still had a high completion percentage rate. But make no mistake about it, every other game, he was giving everybody the business. 5 touchdowns at Alabama. Look, he was out here throwing 3 touchdowns, 276 yards. He was giving it to Kentucky. He was giving it to Mizzou. He was giving it to Florida and Anthony Richardson and the crew. 349, 2 tubs, 78.6 completion percentage. This guy is highly accurate. And if you give him his weapon starting off, watch out. Because, look, if it's the Joe Burrow effect all over, this guy would grow and groom in with his wide receivers, and they would get nothing but better as they get better here. You got DJ Moore already here. You got his tight end, Michael Mayer. This guy would have everything to start off and flourish. It's not a bad scenario starting off. And then with the remaining pieces of the draft, you can go edge rusher. You can fill that in. You can go running back. Blake Corum will be sitting there in the middle of the third round. A bevy of running backs will be sitting there as well. Like, you can really full-fledged take this time and build and fill out the pieces, because we got an extra compensatory pick for Steve Wilkes going to San Fran. So that's another pick. Like I said, you can go running back, you can go edge rusher, you can go interior defensive lineman. You can really build this team going down from that point forward. And look, to me, that's a hit. And the Carolina Panthers just found their franchise guy by doing that. It didn't take reaching. It didn't take anything but patience. And that's the number one thing we need here in Carolina. Patience. So like I said, if the scenario came and Levis, Stroud, Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson is not there, there's no need to panic. The scenario is already set. You can get a guy like Hooker, and like I'm telling you, he will be ready by the time the season starts. But let's lay this thing out anyway. A lot of you guys said if the top three quarterbacks wasn't there and you were going to take Anthony Richardson, you knew that he was a guy that would have had to sit, and you would have had to go out and get a free agent like Jacoby Brissett to get us over the hump anyway. Why not apply the same principle to Hendon Hooker? Because you know that this guy is a superstar. You know this guy is going to be able to take your franchise to the next level for the next 10 years. Why not give him a game or two where he can get himself together, get under the playbook, get his body up under him, and really showcase what he can do? Because the expectations for Carolina in the year one is not to go out and win a Super Bowl. It's to go out and showcase what we can be moving forward. That's the expectations in year one. So with that being said, you look at a guy like Hendon Hooker, you look at a guy that has the possibility of coming in and changing your franchise. Anthony Richardson, like I said, any of these other guys, it's the same philosophy. A lot of people will say Matt Corral is a guy. Why don't you take a chance on Matt Corral? Because he has a Lisfranc injury and see what he could be. What I'm saying is Matt Corral has not shown an ounce of superstardom that Hendon Hooker has shown. And he's won the Heisman on the highest levels against the highest teams. This guy has superstar ability. Mark my words, whatever team gets him will have a diamond in the rough. And this guy, like I said before, a lot of people like to compare him to Malik Willis. No, sir. He is way sharper. The arm talent is way more precise. Look at his completion percentage. Over his career is 70%, which is very high. This guy can make the passes. He can make the runs. He's a balanced quarterback. He can take your franchise to the next level. Look, make no mistake about it. Your boy Dub Q hasn't steered you wrong yet. Rock with your boy. If you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Show that love. You already know what time it is. Your boy Q in the building.